Hello, hello and welcome. My name is Sheep Thief, and today I'll be coming at you with some Rome 2 Total War multiplayer 1v1 computer game analysis. I just did another video that was almost identical to this. We were on the same map. It's Epirus versus Rome in both of these videos, and this is just sort of a well, first of all, it's an analysis of the game to notice any mistakes that either of us made and just commentate it. But also, I think it could be helpful to people who have trouble fighting against Rome on the public games list. Now, I'm sort of a noob at this game, and I don't know how good this guy is, but since I'm a noob, I don't think this guy's like a pro or anything, and this advice that I'm giving does not necessarily apply to super good players. Just a quick introduction of both sides. The Roman player has auxiliary cavalry, a general's bodyguard, and then an auxiliary cavalry and soci equites. Then he's got this big line of legionary cohorts, and then two evocades, maybe three. Oh yeah, two evocades and a socii extraordinari. Up front, he has auxiliary Syrian archers. So pretty light, in my opinion, on cavalry, but and he does not have ranged cavalry, which is pretty good news for my positioning. But then he's got this big line of really good infantry, and then pretty good skirmishers. What I have are 3 Tarentines, 2 which is ranged javelin cavalry, Aspis companion cavalry, which according to some people is the best melee cav in the game. Very strong melee cav. I have a pike line of levy pikemen and then 2 elite pikes, Hellenic Royal Guard, which have good armor. Then I've got Illyrian levies on the wings, and Agriani and Axemen behind the pikes, and then some mercenary Italians. And then the weird thing is this elephant unit. So I've got a unit of mercenary Indian elephants. So again, this is sort of a educational video on how to deal with Rome. And this player, compared to the last help video I had on Rome, is much more is a better player than the last one. No offense to the last guy, but this guy is a more active player. So this guy faces off with me. I push around to the back, and again, he doesn't have missile. And I'll turn up the speed now. This guy doesn't have missile cavalry, so I kind of have free reign to kind of start just being annoying. I push up, and with Rome, one thing that I like to do is come at an angle. First of all, it's good for your missiles in this game. If you hit a unit from the back with missiles, or the side, it does way better than from the front, where they block it with their shields. So first of all, it sets up back and side shots for your missiles. And then it also forces the Roman player to have to kind of adjust, which the Roman player wants you to just march straight into him and charge his infantry, so that he can tank the charge and then start wearing down your units. So I come in here, getting some good shots, and look, this is the kind of chaos that you want to start causing against Rome. Pick off the cavalry. I cut it really close here with these Tarentines, and he actually catches a few of them. But this is a good trade. To pull this out and take care of it is worth the getting a tiny melee like that can actually be good. I'm keeping the elephants hidden. You want to keep the elephants way back. therefore they're your final blow once a melee has started. Do not initiate with the elephants. Do not be hasty with them. Wait and be patient. So this guy's chasing really hard with these units, and I think he might have forgotten about him, which makes me think that he might not be like, he's not like a pro. Because I think a pro would have pulled back. This is sort of a throw right here. It looks like he kind of forgot about him.
By your command, riders advance.
So that makes me feel a little more confident. He pushes up here against the Aspices to get them out of the way, which, given my composition, like he can do that if he wants. He's sort of wearing out his units, but they're still fresh. And it is setting something up where now I have to move, because if he comes around this side with these units, I'm in trouble. So then I back up, and with Rome players, you need to be willing to, you need to set your formation, use hotkeys and like formation groupings to make sure that you're able to reposition when you need to. So he chases this again, he sets up these auxiliary Syrian archers and gets baited once again, and as you can see, these auxiliary cavalry, they have 8 units left and they're still like, their morale is still fine. He's eating up a lot of my ammunition, which is not even like, this isn't that terrible of a trade for him. And then this 3 units left, and it totally blocks my charge on them.
Yes, Commander.
So this actually is pretty good for him, but then he starts chasing again. In my opinion, he should have tried to bait me in a little more, and definitely don't chase. Like, he should have feinted there. And now he's going to lose even more units, but at this point I do know that I'm almost out of ammunition. Taking a few losses from these Syrians. But his cavalry is pretty starting to look pretty thin. He has his general unit and Soci Equites. There, yeah, see, that's nasty. So here I am just taking the trade. I think if I was sweating a little harder, I could like wrap around and try to. There we go. So that at this point, this is not a good trade for him at all.
Yes, Commander.
With my main army, again, I just have a good control grouping, and I'm kind of backing up slowly, making him reposition, separating him, trying to spread him out. The Aspices come around. At this point, these are kind of in the middle of nowhere. We are taking shots from the Syrian archers that aren't negligible. I know I was taking... I could have sworn I was taking some losses from that, actually. Maybe not yet. So maybe that's good for us. We're kind of wasting some ammo. This actually ties up one of my units, which is okay for him, I guess, but if it's trading an auxiliary cavalry for, you know, half of a Tarentine unit, that's not worth it. So it's good that he caught up with them. I guess they're getting something, but overall I think this is a mistake. And if you can take care of the Roman cavalry, then you can really just set up as for whatever you want to do. The danger of killing all the Roman cavalry is that the Roman player will just turtle up and make and get into a square. So we get in this fight with the Soci Equites with our Aspis cavalry, which we are doing not as well as I would hope against. We do open up an attack on these Syrians, and these Aspis sort of trickle out of there. The Soci Equites are dead. He does actually, I think, rout one of those Tarentines with this, but I think we're out of ammunition. So I just pull out. I put the Tarentines on these retreating Syrians because they could get back together. Use the Aspices to shut down the Soci Equites, and then we can, when that's done, turn on the auxiliary cavalry, which I think we do here. the Soci Equites Shatter, and then this was a Miss Micro. I remember doing this. I was like, wait, no, you go on that. But at this point, we're pretty separated, and he's actually bearing down on me, which I think is the correct thing to do. I think he should have like tried to bear down a little harder. And here's where I start taking losses. He focuses the pikemen, maybe the slingers too. No, it looks like the pikemen. It looks like he's thinking, if I can kill those pikes, then I can probably weather all of the Epirate ammunition, and then I'll win. So we actually end up leaving that auxiliary cavalry. It's in the middle of nowhere, and I'm getting a little worried that I'm going to get pinned up against the edge of the map here. I'm feeling kind of bad about kiting this hard, but this cavalry fight ended up taking a while because their morale is just so good. It's sort of alarming. Then one sec, I gotta blow my nose. So, again, setting up at an angle. You see how now he's at an angle, and he's like, to get squared off with me, it's gonna take a while for this side to swing in. And at this point, I'm kind of seeing an opening because of all this. First of all, these elephants can now chill here without being in range of any skirmishers. And so if he kind of trickles in here, and if I it's not like perfectly calculated in my head, but I'm getting like an instinctive feeling of like weakness on this flank. There are only 2 units of Syrian archers left, and he's like set on shooting down my center like this. So I keep the elephants over here, again, still very safe. The other thing is that this flank where he's hitting me is now going to start being in range of my Aspis. I know I come around here, and I'm thinking about just sweeping in through here, or at least threatening it, making him pull the Syrians back. So I do back up one more time. This time not so much out of fear, but out of just like buying a little bit of time. I'm starting to feel the burn with these Syrians. We've got 30 dead pikes here, 10 dead pikes here, 20 dead slingers, 20 dead slingers. We've lost about 100 units maybe. Then he sends this over here, sort of swinging around. He backs a little bit, maybe. But at this point, I'm feeling kind of ready to move in. I've got the Tarentines back here, forcing him to bring a legionary cohort back. And the methodology here is just, when he brings the Syrian archers back, I want to be able to hit them. Looks like I target the Syrian archers, which I think is kind of a mistake. I think I should be shooting at the general. So I charge with the Illyrian levies at this flank. Now, the Illyrian levies are going to get completely destroyed here. These are very good units. But what this has done is tie up, like these aren't going to get a javelin shot off now. Maybe if he timed it, and it looks like he might be trying to push them through. But this is a perfect situation for the elephants to get a back charge on these units. As you can see, that's half of my Illyrian levies are dead already, but we're about to clear all of this with the elephants. Now, the danger with elephants is that they require a lot of micro. So you want to be set up and ready to go when you commit the elephants. And at this point, I feel them coming in, and they get a javelin toss off, but it's like slightly off, and a lot of the elephants are already out by then. So I don't quite know why it didn't get them, but look at this. Just already the elephants have 150 kills. So that was a really good trade for us. Slingers come back. I get my pikes out, I'm pretty sure, I hope. Come on. There we go. Okay, the pikes come out. The elephants are now safe again. These are coming around, but we are kind of getting ready to set up for another swing in with the elephants. This unit is in danger, but it's kind of opening it up for our elephants, so it's sort of a tempting unit. The Aspices, I should be being a little more active with them, but right now this is good because these units are expending their javelins on the pikes. They're in javelin range, and any javelin that we can have thrown at anything but the elephants is a good thing. So I should be a little worried about this unit throwing javelins, but what I was more worried about these Evocati, and so I charged them with the Tarentines, which again is a terrible trade, but it just gives me time to not get javelined. These Agrianians are getting not tons of kills, but they're helping to shut this down, and then the elephants crash into this legionary cohort and start to rack up tons of kills. And look, their morale is starting to break down, and I instantly pulled, as soon as I see that starting to go down, I shove them onto this unit over here. Now these Syrian archers start getting shots, and at this point I thought, uh-oh, the elephants might go wild right here, but the Tarentines, once again, behind here are in a really good position to hit these auxiliary archers. This Socii Extraordinary kind of rallies, but they're so sort of split up that I can bring the Tarentines onto the Syrians. The pike wall is holding. We've got the Syrians or the slingers up on the hill, and then on this side, these Illyrian levies are going to go down. But once again, just the Roman infantry is facing the wrong direction, and the Aspis cavalry can wrap around and get a ton of kills. I just send one unit. You want to be a little. These cavalry units can kind of get piled up on each other. The elephants clear some stuff up over here, and again, these pikes are really causing problems for these Romans. What he should be doing is just ignoring the pikes. But look at this. The elephants move through this infantry and just mow it down. At this point, they have almost 400 kills. This flank is falling apart, but the Aspices are keeping him from wrapping around too much. The elephants are just massacring things in here. 450 kills. The Roman units are starting to break. I've got these units over here that I remember, and again, this is the thing with the elephants, is it takes tons of micro to keep these elephants moving around, and if they start holding still, they stop killing things, and you want them to be walking over infantry as much as you can. A couple of the elephants are starting to go down. I think they basically have health, and then the armor like somehow is deteriorating, and I don't quite understand how, but yeah, they're starting to go down. It's almost over for them, but they have gotten going on 600 kills. Now elephants can be okay against cavalry, but again, I'm not too worried about the cavalry, I'm more worried about the infantry. So the elephants move on to this, and at this point they are kind of worn out, and they start going down. I think their health pool is just gone, and I think he starts right-clicking them. And I was like spam microing to try to push them through that mass, but they slowed down, and I'm not quite sure what was happening. The micro is a little janky. The elephants are a little janky. Like you can see the elephants' dead bodies are like moving around. CA has some work to do with their elephants. And I'm focusing that so hard that you can see little mistakes happening, like these units are doing nothing, these units are doing nothing. Both of us are like sweating. So again, one of the dangers with the elephants is just it's micro intensive, and you see I lose some Aspices because of that. So the elephants finally go down with a total of 600. Where does it go eventually? Yeah, so right about 600 kills they get. The last elephant heroically goes down. So there's still some infantry, but we've caused some serious damage. The Aspices are ready to go. One thing with pikes is you want to make sure they're not on formation attack, because that keeps stuff like this from happening, where you like tell the pikes to attack, but they're like facing some stupid, retarded direction. Over here, the Italian swordsmen are chopping up the remainder of these legionaries. Right here, we've got some Tarentines tying up the losing to Syrian archers, but at least tying him up.
Understood.
The enemy general, like at this point, he's pretty much lost the game. But he still has some dangerous units. Evocati, an okay amount of legionaries, but we have a full unit of Italian swordsmen, which aren't terrible for how much they cost. Auspices clear up. Really, the thing that just confirms that we're going to win is the auspices. They come in, and yeah, these Evocatis are pretty good. Like, they just got recharged, and it says that they're winning decisively. You can see their units are dropping, but that starts to slow down pretty quick. And as you can see here, it says we're winning, but it doesn't really feel like it. Like, they're not actually losing any units, barely any. And it's actually the army losses that are causing this to happen. So, yeah, it's just about to end. I think the moral of the story is, against Rome, remember to come in at angles. Your overall goal is to dominate the cavalry, and then, again, I would highly recommend elephants or chariots against Rome, because that, in my opinion, is pretty much the only way that you're going to be able to kill a lot of their infantry in a decisive way. Everything else will be like a weird, I think, requires luck. Like, even if you have tons of Oathsworn, it's really going to be up to like skill and luck that leads to you having your Oathsworn coming and hitting them from behind, and like even Oathsworn against like these units which cost not as much as Oathsworn will start to fail. So yeah, I think the best Rome killer is elephants and chariots. But anyway, that's pretty much it.
Commander, ready.
This unit, I pull it out.
Orders
As you can see, we
understood.
start losing that fight even though we recharged, and we did not get that many kills, like maybe 15 kills. And I'm surrounding it, but it's the last unit. I know I can win, but this is just the danger of
Quickly
Rome,
now.
and then they run. So, as you can see, the elephant, 599 kills, is like, if a unit gets 300 kills, that's really good. Pretty much, even if they're killing trash units, that's if any unit gets 300 kills, that's really good. With elephants and chariots, you have the potential, like, I've gotten 800 kills with chariots before. So you're talking about a unit that costs, well, in the case of the Iceni chariots, those don't cost, that's 900 points for those Iceni chariots. With elephants, you're talking about like between 1300 and 1500. If you're going for the crazy like armored Indian elephants, that's 2100. And at that point, I think you're maybe pushing it in terms of, like, you'd better be getting 500, 600 kills with those elephants if you're paying 2100 for it. But these are 1500, I believe, for Epirus. And that's like 200 more than an Oathsworn. And if your Oathsworn gets 250 to 300 kills, it's done pretty well. So for 200 more points, you're talking about getting like 2 Oathsworns. Like, this is 2 good, well-used Oathsworns worth of kills. This is 2 well-used, Evocatis or Praetorians worth of kills for way less than 2 times the price. Literally, like, maybe 1.2. No, what would it be? So if an Oathsworn is like, what, 1300, an elephant is 1500, so 200 more. What's 200? what is 2 divided by 13? So like a little less than 1/6 more expensive than, which would be about 15% maybe. So it's 15% more expensive than an Oathsworn, but it's getting 2 times the amount of kills, and you can get more than this. At the end there, that last final charge into that last group of Evocadis and stuff was sort of botched. Like I said, with the chariots, I've gotten 800. So if you set up well and you get good rear charges and stuff, and if your opponent can't shut down the elephants or the chariots, you can get 800. My new goal is 1,000. If I can get 1,000 kills with an elephant or chariot, that'll be cool. Now again, against good players, they will certainly be targeting the elephants with missiles. So as the skill level goes up, the delicacy with which you send in the elephants will also have to increase. But at the same time, higher level players tend to not do cancerous post-Marian Reform Rome builds. So as the skill level goes up, you'll also run into less like camping Rome spam. So anyway, thank you for watching. GG to this guy. This was a good game. This guy, as the other game, the guy was like camping really hard. This guy played like totally honorably, aside from getting these overpowered units. But that's fine. He played well. He wasn't being he wasn't playing cancerously or anything. So GG to Lorenta Hug, and I hope this helped. See you in the next one.